Hey everyone, we're here with another video, and today we're talking about the Roborock S7 vacuum slash mop. We can go over a little bit of the specs, but this particular robot vacuum slash mop has the sonic mopping technology, intelligent mop lifting, 5 millimeters specifically, ultrasonic carpet recognition, so it has a sensor on the bottom of it to detect if it's actually vacuuming a carpet or if it's a hard floor. And then it has a all new rubber brush, which is supposed to be get less tangled versus other brushes. And then it also has one of those side wiping brushes too. So this is a longer term review. So we bought this vacuum cleaner slash mop slash robot 4 years ago on Amazon, and I'll put an affiliate link in the description too. And at the time, 4 years ago, when I purchased this was $650. So not cheap by any means. And quite honestly, more than I actually thought I paid when looking back at it. $770 total. I bought some extra side brushes and some extra mop pads. Let me go over some of the pros and cons, and then I will go over some just generalities of robot vacuums. I've gone through a long term with the Neato Bot Vac D5 it was, I think, and also had a few days with the Weiss robot vacuum too. Let's move on to the pros and the cons. So there's not a huge list of pros, because when you look at something long term and you also look at things that are good or wrong with it at the same time, there's a lot. So when thinking about this, I think I like a few things here. Carpet recognition, that's really nice because it can turn up the suction if it's going over carpet. And the app experience is quite good. And multiple floor mapping, so it's part of the app as well. So we have an upstairs and downstairs, and we have a basement. We usually only use it for the upstairs and the ground level floor. And then the dustbin capacity is quite big. I find that whenever we run it through a floor, it's usually full and you do have to empty it out. They also, after the S7 came out, they introduced a suction, or, one of those bins that essentially allows you to store more dust and debris into. So it basically sucks up the debris from the actual dustbin so it can keep running. I have kind of a love-hate relationship with that, because that's just another thing that could possibly go wrong. And I get that it's nice to keep that all in a suction bin, and then I think it does allow you to just empty that out and just take it out. But it's another thing you have to buy, so I just don't particularly like the whole idea of more things to buy, more things to break. And then the battery life is quite good. I think that was one of the things that was mentioned as being, like, not touting the largest battery, but it has a large battery that essentially can do more than just our entire floor. Now, if it gets stuck, that's another issue. And then there's also within the app a lot of different settings that you can use to make it use more battery. So you can, if you have the suction all the way up, it won't get through the entire floor plan that we have. But if you keep it at just a regular suction and then having it be high on the carpet portions, because most of the house that we have is hard surfaces, so it's mostly going over hard surfaces and not carpet. So that's really the list of pros. So it's not too large. The cons list is quite a bit larger, but again, this is longer term. This is, a product that is 4 years old, and so on and so forth. With transitions going from room to room, we do have cats and a litter box, and when it's going over the transitions, it doesn't really, it leaves a lot of dirt and debris there and a lot of kitty litter in that particular spot. So I don't see, even with the highest suction or anything like that, it still has issues with that, because when it's going over a certain portion of it, it's not getting the suction portion of it on that ledge. So it would be nice if it had some edge detection, knowing that there's a transition and having an algorithm to know, okay, I need to sweep extra here to make sure that I can get all of this debris. It does get stuck sometimes. really, for robot vacuums, you kind of need to have your home pre-cleaned. So if you have kids or animals or stuff like that that bring out toys, with this specific one, because it does not have an actual camera to see and go around things, like, you know, if a dog took a crap or something like that on the floor, it wouldn't go around it, it would just go over it, because it's not one of those that has the actual cameras on it to detect it. Ultrasonic and LiDAR, so it is able to map out a really good mapping of your home to make sure that you can set up room by room and stuff like that. But it does have issues running over things and running into things, because again, it doesn't have the camera recognition. And yeah, I would say that's definitely a con here. And just it getting stuck sometimes, like it did get stuck yesterday, and you kind of have to preempt it to, like, we have chairs and it goes underneath them, and sometimes it's just narrow enough to fit between the chairs, but it does get stuck. Generally, we don't have an issue with that as long as everything's pre-prepped. Again, we don't have kids and we have cats, so the cats are usually staying out of the way and they don't put toys in the way of it. Shaggy carpet. So we have in our living room a pretty thick shaggy carpet, and it does have issues when it's going underneath it and on the side edges of it. It does like this weird motion around it to actually try to get itself to get, I guess, a better cleaning of it. In general, I don't think it does really great with carpet. This one, the S7, is really good with hard surfaces because it does get that nice suction and that nice seal when it's doing hard floors. I mentioned the fact that it is able to raise its mop 5 millimeters. 5 millimeters just isn't high enough, and it does bring some of the dampness to the carpet as well, but it's mostly on the shaggy carpet more so than it is on some of our thinner carpets. No optimized routes, so typically what you would want, and this is some of the testing that I'm also doing with some of the robot lawnmowers, you can't have it like, so if you have a long hallway, you can't have it do the long hallway in a specific direction. It's supposed to use algorithms to figure out what the best way of doing it is. I found that it doesn't really do a great job with this, and it does with some rooms, but I wish you can kind of have a setting in the app to actually set to be the quickest way to mop and vacuum your home. Other thing is that it doesn't really clean and mop that well. I think it does a pretty good job of vacuuming on hard surfaces, like I mentioned. But what I found is that typically to get a really good clean is you have to have it do it twice. And then when it does it twice, it does it in 2 different directions. And when it does it in 2 different directions, I think it has most of the coverage. Typically, I only have it run once, but when I noticed it doing it twice, it was just much better cleaning. So it has a caster wheel on the front, and then it has 2 wheels in the back. And the caster, like the housing that it was in, the plastic piece, it broke. So I had to figure out a way to put it all together. Like, it obviously had a warranty and it had some Amazon service replacement kind of deal. And the Amazon thing didn't cover any of the crap that happened. So I don't know why they didn't, but yeah, I was able to use some JB Weld. JB Weld fixes everything, right? To fix the plastic bits, and it's been running fine ever since. But I didn't really see that as being, like, there's not really a replacement part for that, sadly. This one's pretty low profile, but it wasn't low enough to fit underneath one of our couches. And that was kind of annoying because the other one that we had did fit underneath, and then it did have some issues, again, like I mentioned, with shaggy carpets. So that's kind of a pain in the butt because that's a spot where, you know, you would want everything to be cleaned underneath there. It does go underneath our bed, and it does go underneath another couch, but the other couch is paired with the shaggy carpet, so we don't have it vacuum in that room. One of the things that I noticed is that, and this is similar to like every robot vacuum or robot lawnmower, really anything robotic wise, the companies don't seem to provide sort of an estimate of how much charge it needs to actually vacuum a room or the room that's left. And what's the most annoying thing is if you're expecting your, like, let's say you have one floor and it takes 2 charges to actually vacuum it. Or maybe it's like one charge and like, let's say an additional 15%. When it gets to a certain point, it'll go to the recharge and it'll charge all the way back up to 90% before it goes back out. And that to me is just mind-boggling, especially if there's like one little bit left. It'll go back and then require it to charge all the way up before it starts going again. My thought process is, okay, can you at least guess that it's like a percentage-wise, how much battery it took to do what you did, how much battery it took previously, that sort of thing. So I wish that's something that I have on my wish list for robot vacuums and robot lawnmowers and what have you. So that's really the pros and cons. That's what I have listed. So I want to get into the little bits of robot vacuum mop ownership, right? So one of the things about this one is that it has a mopping pad, right? And it's going through the entire house mopping with this one pad. And then once it's done, you can essentially change it out and then, and it's only using water and it's only supposed to use water. You're not supposed to use solution in it. Otherwise it gets like all dirty and moldy in there. And it's not super accessible to like open it up and clean it out. So one of the things that is annoying about this one specifically is that, the mop gets pretty dirty pretty quickly. And then all you're doing is just spreading out all of the mopped dirt all over the place. So basically what I end up doing is I use some spray on the actual like microfiber mop pad and then just let it use the water that it has to just damp everything down and then wipe everything. The other thing is that I remember it saying that I could choose the order that it was actually mopping and vacuuming and whatnot, but it doesn't seem to have that ability because my thought process was, I don't want it to mop the part where the litter box is first, right? I would want it to do that last. So sometimes if I notice that it is mopping that room first, then I go out and change the mop after it cleans that. So a little bit of a pain in the butt there. And I'm curious if the newer ones out nowadays are, smart enough to be able to do it room by room or have it do a cleaning after it does a certain spot. That's something that I probably would like. Also, just in general with robot vacuums, you kind of have to have your place like nice and tidy before you actually have it clean. So that's kind of annoying. I know that there's more coming out that have like an arm to pick things up. And I think that's kind of ridiculous because, that just seems like super impractical and not very versatile to pick up all the things that would be just lying around. But yeah, there's a maintenance aspect to this. So it's not like you just get to clean, like, it's not just like this thing is just perfect and will always, save you a bunch of time. It takes longer than it takes you to actually clean. So that's one thing with robot vacuums, robot lawnmowers, and what have you. All these things will take longer than you physically just vacuuming. And I think that's annoying to a lot of people, but again, it's at least doing it itself. It can do it while you're sleeping, all these different types of things. Probably after a few bugs here and there, and just knowing what it's capable of doing, you figure out what it can and cannot do. And then you set your expectations based on that. This probably cleans better than I would clean in terms of just area, in that it goes over spots multiple times and it can do it twice. And, it's seeing probably and getting into spots where I probably wouldn't get to. And that's probably one really big pro of just robot vacuums in general. But yeah, there's a maintenance aspect to it where you do have to clean out the dustbin. You do sometimes have to untangle the brush, which the brush is not tangle free. I definitely have to clean it out every now and then. Sometimes it does get dirty, and then you don't want to clean your floors with something that's dirty, so just something to keep in mind. You have to clean the sensors off to make sure that it's able to sense all the things that it needs to. And yeah, it still gets stuck from time to time. So not something that you can count on 100% of the time, because mainly, you know, this one here does not have a camera or anything like that. Overall recommendations. This thing is quite good, but just keep in mind that it does have quite a bit of limitations. Shaggy carpets, going underneath things, sometimes it's not able to fit underneath things. So just, you know, I would buy from a place that is very easy to return, test it out for a few weeks and see if it is right for you. And that goes for basically anything that you're buying, because, you know, you want to make sure that this thing is something that lasts. Again, the wheel broke at like, I don't know, like maybe 2.5 years in. So, and it's still going good. Like, there's no issues that I have with this particularly, other than the fact that it isn't able to vacuum one of the shaggy carpets that we have and that particular room, but it does a bunch of the other bits, and it does quite good. And it is a little bit noisy. It is something to get used to, and so on and so forth. But I think it's a good tool to save you some time, to give you some time to do your own things that you want to do. You know, with any new piece of technology and anything that's considered, you know, something that will help you out, you want to think about the time that it saves you and the time that you end up doing some new task, like me doing some of the maintenance of, you know, cleaning it out and making sure that the dustbin is empty, and if it breaks, fixing it, so on and so forth. Unless this thing breaks, I don't plan on replacing it. All the stuff that's come out thus far in, you know, 2024, 2025 looks good, but, you know, I don't think it really covers like 100% of what I would need. I still think there are issues. I would like to eventually try one that has a camera so that, you know, it knows that it has issues, but I already have seen with the robot lawnmowers that even ones with cameras still suck. So, you know, I don't think anybody has figured out, you know, 100% of the issues. There's still going to be some cases where it does well and it doesn't do well. But with that said, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. And if you have any comments, leave them down below.